I think we've started. All right, so we're back. A couple technical difficulties there. All right, we're back for game number 2 between Team Pandemonium and Corvidae. We're going to go ahead and get into picks and bans pretty quickly here. Not too much to talk about game number 1. Pretty dominant performance from Team Pandemonium, to say the least.
Exactly, we were jumping into picks and bans. Like it was just down to the comp. Like that first invade, they had the damage. Of course, the first blood. Like even though they didn't really have the most strong early game damage. I mean, if you walk into 2 members and just sit there, you're going to die. Tasker first ban for Pandemonium. That's it's a pretty standard ban.
It kind of surprises me that they're banning it away first, though, rather than forcing Corvidae to ban it away. Because if Ratatoska is let through, Pandemonium can pick it up first. I suppose there's some deeper intricacies at play for Team Pandemonium there. Raijin banned away by Corvidae. Just don't want a cheater to get his hands on something that deals such an incredible amount of damage.
We saw him playing the Ra. I mean, there were a few snipes that were off, but when he hit the snipes, I mean, it's a Ra. If you get hit by a Ra ult, you're going to have about, what, 400 to 700 damage just chunked out of you. And also the follow-up that they have was just so good. And the pressure they had with that Ra. I want to see a Ra again for Panda. That was great. Susanoo banned. Corvidae need to ban away... They could look to ban Erratic Sparkus again.
They're going to take away a Sobek instead here. Okay. So I actually would not be surprised to see Pandemonium first pick Barkus. It has happened before. They have done it before. They prioritize that god pretty heavily. It'd be interesting to see if the new meta influences this at all. We can see them picking Nemesis first yet again.
Maxon played out of his mind. We saw it, what was it, about 4 minutes, I'm going to say. He rotated over to duo and then just got an easy triple kill. He was a contributing factor to almost every single fight. We did point out the assists, the KDAs of every member, and I believe he was part of 19 out of 25 kills at one point in the game near the end. So, I mean, Nemesis on Maxon, it's just, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You played it so well last time. It's a good first pick. Corvidae, however, have got themselves the ultimate duo lane.
Yeah, Hoyi and Barkus here, very popular in OCE, though those are both the most picked gods. Just overall, they're actually tied. Ram and Giannis here picked up for Team Pandemonium. Mochita, this kind of just like his fallback god whenever he just wants to win a game. He just picks Giannis. We saw it on land. We've seen it this split. It's still a very strong, and yeah, I feel a bit underrated god. Ram, a bit of a late game carry there. Kind of suits Subfull's playstyle a little bit. You know, just sit back and farm in the early game, get online late, and then carry your team. Hunbat's here picked up for Trilogy on the side of Corvidae, so something with a little bit more escapability and peel for himself compared to the Naja, which, you know, we saw him go in a whole lot and we saw him die a whole lot last game.
Yeah, that's to put it quite calmly, I guess. I'm not going to be surprised if Pandemonium ban an Odin here. They have the Barkus AoE ult, they have the Hoyi AoE ult, and the Hunbats. Poseidon actually getting banned away here, so really focusing towards Desecrator. Still, a last game worked very well for him. It worked well with the comp that they had. I think it will work even better. So they could look to... I mean, there's a lot of things that Pandemonium can ban here if they want to focus away Desecrator. And I don't think the Poseidon was something they should have banned.
Fafnir and Athena banned from Corvidae. So the Fafnir ban is a direct target at Erratic, who is probably the first person in the world to get Fafnir Diamond. Can't imagine anyone else who would enjoy playing that character that much to get to Diamond.
Hell no.
Athena banned away as well, just taking away from his god pool. He did play Kumbhakana very well last game, and it is still open. Scylla banned away here by Team Pandemonium, taking that one away from Desecrator. He actually did fairly well last game, got a couple of key kills off the setup from his team, so just taking that one away from him.
Corvidae still need to lock in their mid laner. No. Kronos.
That'll probably be mid for Desecrator. There's an argument to be made for Kronos solo, but really that argument's about 1.5 years old. So I don't really expect it. You could put Hoyi mid and Kronos in the AD carry position. We've seen that done in the OPL before. I highly doubt it, however. Just more a mid god at this stage of the meta. Amaterasu Kumba picked up here for Pandemonium.
Whoa.
So that's going to be a Kumba for Erratic again. No big surprises here. There's very limited supports left available. Raven, though, here picked up for KO in the solo lane. You know, pretty good. I like this one a lot. It should help him survive the laning phase against Ro a little bit easier than he did last time.
Exactly, and Raven's going to have more impact in team fights, I guess, because Sun Wukong, really, we saw him he got stuck in the cage, he ulted, he ran away, and then tried to hit a few tiger stuns. Yeah, he's okay early, but Nemesis just came in and killed him instantly without his somersault cloud up. I like the Raven pick. It's much better than the Wukong, so hopefully he plays it better in lane and also when they rotate into each other.
And as we head into game here, we can see a couple of early wards around the mid lane from both teams. Corvidae particularly just looking for when Team Pandamonium rotates from their respective buffs.
I like the relics as well. Maxon started off with the Wrath last time, and we saw him use it multiple times in fights. Now that it has a stun on it, of course, Maxon playing the Nemesis doesn't really have too much hard CC. Of course, you have a few slows. The Wrath and that ensuring that 1 second stun can set up a lot of kills for himself and also get to lane much faster.
Right, looks like a pretty standard start from both teams here. No real invade potential from either side here. So they're just going to go ahead, take their buffs, head towards the lanes here. Nemesis again from Max and I expect to see a lot of big things out of. We can see the Wrath coming into play early. They're getting, basically an early start into lane here by being able to take down that speed buff so quickly.
They're going to have that lane pressure. Of course, it's pretty much going to be nullified as soon as KO gets a lane, because we all know that Raven is the biggest bully in Smite. You can't really clear him, really. He just does so much damage and you can't really outbox him. Of course, Ro playing Amaterasu, it'll be a really good matchup for both of these gods here.
Right hand side mid camps here being started up at Corvidae as Team Pandemonium actually looking to come in and contest these ones here. Trilogy at 50% HP, Maxon going in very quickly here. Ro dashing in as well. Desecrator very low here in the mid lane, but manages to get the stun off onto Maxon and Ro, so able to survive that one just barely.
Now they're going to take the rewards from that casualty, or no casualty, I guess. They're going to take away the right side mid camps and looks to get the fire creeps as well. Ro's going to have control over those. Left hand
side. Hazification, very low. Subfloor picks up the kill there. First blood going the way of Team Pandemonium.
That's not what you want. You've got pretty much the ultimate duo lane. We said it in Pixel Men's. Hazification playing Barkus and the Hoi Yi. You couldn't have asked for a better drafted duo lane, and they just got first blooded with it.
Maxon dashing in the mid lane again, stunned out by a Desecrator here, but he actually takes a lot of damage from the Giannis. Ochita looking to get the portal here. Desecrator sticking around far too long. Maxon, if he has his dash off in just a second. Ochita just barely off the mark there with the unstable Vortex, and Desecrator able to live.
The Jukes. It's such a hard. I don't even know if that's skill anymore, because it's such a awkward thing to try and avoid. The unstable Vortex is so, especially sitting in between where it connects in the middle. That's quite impressive, and he escapes as well. If you were to give up first blood there, especially playing the Kronos is extremely late game, and if he were to give up first blood there, that would set him up for massive casualties in the future.
Just Speedy here, feeling the pressure over on the left-hand side as Subfloor and Erratic are pushing wave after wave into his tower. Speedy, though, is level 5, however, compared to Subfloor and Erratic's level 4.
That's just because the death from Casification, and he's also been in mid lane, so he has a little bit of extra solo farm as well. Casification's only just hit level 4, so Erratic has that slight advantage and level.
Solo lane Ro dashing at KO here. Through space of time comes out from Ochita. KO's got very limited room to work with here. Ochita, the portal, unstable Vortex combo. Bye-bye KO. KO actually nearly soloed our Ro there, so he was very unfortunate not to get that kill. Great play there from Team Pandemonium.
You know what? That would have been completely avoided. If KO had poured a point into his ultimate, he's actually gone for he skipped the level 5 and he's gone straight into the
I know why he did that, because he was trying to get that Piranha Onslaught onto Ro to get the kill there, and so he put an extra level into it just to try and secure the kill with his 1. But I suppose if he put it into his ultimate as well, he could have just used his ultimate to get the kill.
To kill him, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But the Piranha Onslaught at level 3 does more damage than the ultimate at level 1.
True. Well, I mean, even if he didn't use it to get the kill, he could have tried to escape. Nevertheless, we do see a kill onto KO, and now we see the buffs getting picked up for Pandemonium. We don't see as many invades coming through this time. We saw the back camp invade after they took first blood, and then they just dominated. They took blue buffs, they took speed buffs, damage buffs, mid camps, they took creeps. This time, we're not seeing that.
Mid lane. Pandemonium pressuring the wave under the tower. This seems to be the story across the board for Pandemonium. An unfortunate story thus far for Corvidae. This is getting them quite behind, everyone except for just Speedy, who's a level ahead of Subfloor. We did mention, however, that is because of the early kill onto Casification, allowing him a bit more solo farm.
Almost 4.5 minutes into this. Pretty much everyone's finishing off their crucial builds. We see the Transcendence finished off for Speedy, and this time Subfloor playing the Rama. Now we saw Rama mid in the Alpha Sydney game, but this time in duo, I mean, Rama just does so well, especially when you go into late. You've got the pick me up, which gives him so much extra attack speed. He does a lot of damage, but he's not going for the Transcendence. Why do you reckon he's skipped that and just going into straight boots and avoiding that big power spike you get from Transcendence?
Oh, well, because Rama, you want to get the Death's Toll on, because you're a very basic attack-oriented clear rather than necessarily an ability-based clear, which you would see from something like a Ho Yi. You want that sustain from the Death's Toll, and also it means that you can get an attack speed item a little bit quicker, because with Transcendence, your next item basically has to be boots, and if you go attack speed boots, you lose out on a lot of power, so a lot of people will go power boots, especially on a Ho Yi.
Left hand or right hand side, we see KO going to land down with the ultimate and find the kill onto Ro. Look how low KO is, just avoiding that last tick of the Dazzling Offensive, but we might actually see a Gold Fury in return. No, Maxon looks to be ganking over onto this left-hand side, Husey.
No ward coverage for Corvidae here. Casification, no idea this is going on. Through space of time, doesn't land onto just Speedy. Casification jumps by, knocks up Ochita, but he doesn't manage to get away here fully. Uses the Intoxicate, but Maxon picks himself up a kill. Desecrator and Trilogy rotating in our Trilogy. Very low on mana here. Might not be able to get too much off in terms of his kit. Some good damage down onto Team Pandemonium from Corvidae, however, means the Pandas can't go for the Gold Fury.
They used a lot of ultimates there to try and kill Casification. They did find it, however, and there won't really be any pressure in return for Corvidae unless they're going to gank that solo lane again, because they can't really rely on so much damage from Desecrator. As we mentioned, he's very, very late game, so they can't really expect him to follow up too much. Of course, he has that CC, the stop time, he has the rewind in case he gets in trouble, but they can, Pandemonium can rely on that extra mid laner, of course, Ochita, to help them in these fights.
Corvidae pressuring the mid lane here. Not too much of a lead for Pandemonium. Only 1,400 kind of in both counts, experience and gold. So Corvidae not too far behind. Still have a chance in this game. You know, we're only 6.5 minutes in. It's a bit crazy talking about teams still having chances in these games. But you know, Pandemonium's dominating performance last time. I'm sure that some of that momentum carries over into this game.
Exactly, 7 minutes in, we don't really see anything too big coming out. We don't see any kind of... we saw the early Gold Fury attempt, but it just evaded into more kills. We could see a few more baits like that. Maxon has his ultimate up now, so the Divine Judgment will be there. Ochita's just overclocked, so now he has, through space and time, they can look for another gank here. On the right-hand side, Blue Buff going to get picked up by Trilogy. We could see another gank here onto Road, potentially. He doesn't have ult for another 35 seconds.
Instead, it's going to be a counter gank by Team Pandemonium. Rolo takes some damage here. Trilogy and KO gets some damage through space in time. The sniper Ochita. KO very low here. Ro and Ochita looking to pick up the kill. Ochita should get it here in just a second. He's tanking the tower. KO here falls down to the through space in time. Ochita, he falls down to the Chaos Archers, not even to KO himself.
Look on the left-hand side, though, Subfloor and Speedy going to be boxing it out. The Suns are down. Speedy is so low. One more hit should be able to find him. He's running away into the jungle. We do see the rolling assault coming through from Subfloor. Not going to be able to cripple in time. Speedy,
Subfloor.
Where are you going, Speedy? Yeah, wait. Yeah, Subfloor has ult.
The snipe him, Subfloor. What are you doing?
Get him, Subfloor! Get him, Subfloor! No! He's sniping up. Looking for one, looking for two, he's gonna connect, looking for the third, but it's not gonna be there. Speedy gets away on 20 HP.
And now Subfloor in a little bit of trouble, but Ro has rotated in here, Casification running away. See, if Subfloor had done that when Speedy used his jump for the first time, that was a kill. Ro picks up the kill onto just Speedy, so they get it nonetheless, but at a much heftier price. Casification gonna fall down as well to Maxon under the tower. In comes Desecrator and Trilogy, however. Desecrator looking to stun out Subfloor, doesn't land it here. KO has teleported in, but he's not going to be able to get too far into the fight. Subfloor should be able to get out of this one just nicely. KO looking to get some damage down onto Ro. Trilogy takes so much damage there from Maxon. Erratic's here as well. Up into the sky. He takes Desecrator, and Desecrator falls down through the ground into death. Good kills there from Team Pandemonium.
absolutely wiping everyone from Corvidae, and now they look to take away this Gold Fury. Casification doesn't have that Intoxicate. That's down for another 30 seconds. Pandemonium are going to take that down without even any contention on the left-hand side. KO in some trouble, surrounded by 3 members, forced to use that ultimate to defend under that tier 1 tower. Pandemonium not going to aggress any further. They're going to back away. They've just got 9 kills advantage, and they take the Gold Fury.
Huge plays from Team Pandemonium. 6,300 is the experience difference. 4,700 gold for them at this point in the game. Looking very, very grim for Corvidae.
I like the build coming through from Subfloor. Very auto attack based. Now he's gone for the Ichabod, so he's going to have a lot more boxing potential over Speedy. Of course, Speedy does have that mark, so he does a little bit more extra damage in these 1v1s. But the Ichabod is a very good pickup. Gives him a lot of attack speed and looks to be building into... I mean, he could either go into a chin size or an executioner here. I'd like to see the executioner, but the chin size might be worth getting picked up because Casification and KO will be building very tanky items.
Max in here, Divine Judgment onto KO. KO uses his immunity. Great ultimate there from Trilogy. Ochita nearly picks up the kill. Unable to get it. Some good peel there from Corvidae. Intoxicate used by Casification, but Ochita had just gone through the portal. Desecrator doing some damage to Subfloor here, but Subfloor is going to be A-OK. Desecrator not really high enough yet to cause him any trouble. Now it looks like Pandemonium want to pressure this tier 1 tower in the mid. Subfloor up in the air looking for the snipes. Hits 1, hits 2, looking for the 3rd one. Lands Subfloor. Great shots there onto Desecrator. Casification taken very low here as well. He falls down to Erratic. Things are falling apart here for Corvidae. Team Pandemonium, 10 minutes into the game. They're going to get the tier 1 tower in the mid, and that is the tier 1 tower in the mid and solo lane gone. Dazzling offensive used by Ro here. KO uses his own ultimate, but jumps back into the rest of Team Pandemonium.
He's in a lot of trouble there. Half health. He's going to get cleaned up there by Subfloor, who picks him up with that in-hand basic row. Tanking the tower. Trilogy could look to find that one, but be in a lot of trouble diving into 5 members. Again, a perfect play there from Pandemonium, not losing anyone and finding, what, 3 more kills and the tier 1 tower because of it?
Great play there from Team Pandemonium. Just Subfloor, he's hit all of the snipes this game, bar the one that Just Speedy jumped out of, and literally, like, Just Speedy would have died if he hadn't jumped. So Subfloor, you know, he came back last week, I believe, after some time away, right back into the swing of things.
It's just impressive to see. I want to have a look at the damage. He's sitting just at the top 4 now. Of course, we see Maxon, 4-0 and 6 again. One of the star players for the team moving back into jungle, playing the Nemesis for 2 games in a row and just killing it in both of these games. He's been part of almost every single kill once again, as has everyone on Pandemonium. It's just very impressive to see the composition and the team play that Pandemonium can output in these games.
There were some issues with Sporks the jungle. Subfloor here getting ganked. He uses his purifications, remains calm because the rest of his team is on the way. Goes up into the sky to avoid the damage from the Suns here. Edie, portal through the ground, portal to death. Trilogy jumping away under the tower. Subfloor just off the mark with a couple of basic attacks. Casification over the wall looking for the stun to save his teammate, but Erratic picks up the kill. Rose stuns out Casification. The damage comes through, and down falls the Fat Man. Desecrator under the tier 2 tower, unable to do anything as his tier 1 tower on the left-hand side is gonna fall down.
That was great communication from everyone on Pandemonium. They were so low. Trilogy was stuck on the tower at about 1 hit, and instead of Ro wasting one of his ultimate hits onto to try and find Trilogy, he left it and went straight onto Casification because he knew the rest of his team could pick up that kill, and then they could focus onto K's and find that one. Tier 2 tower being aggressed, and everyone is in a lot of trouble, surrounded by 4 people. KO gets cleaned up there once again by Subfloor, and the tier 2 tower is going to get cleaned up again. We'll be able to find that one. Subfloor, one more basically going to be taking down.
This game is going even faster than the last one. Maxon's here, Unjudgment onto Casification, but again, just like KO, he jumps into the rest of Team Pandemonium. No escape for him there. Dazzling offensive comes down from Ro. Desecrated purifications away. Rewinds time, but he rewinds back right into Ochita. Erratic actually down into his death state, but his passive is keeping him alive just for now. His teammates body blocking for him excellently, but Just Speedy sneaks in an auto attack between Team Pandemonium. Downfalls Erratic. Downfalls Trilogy, however, as well. Left-hand side, Phoenix taking a lot of damage. The tier 2 tower fell down also during that fight. Completely missed that one, but the Phoenix under 50% HP. KO diving in here now with the ultimate. Takes so much damage there from Ochita. Subfloor looking to pick up the kill. Has his ultimate available, but doesn't have the mana to use it just yet. There's the mark of the Golden Crow from Just Speedy, trying to get a stun onto him, but Subfloor jukes that one aside. Ochita leaves his teammate a portal and out get Team Pandemonium cleanly.
Look at the build coming through from Maxon. He has the Ritual Dagger. Although he has it with a Wrath. Wait, does it increase the Wrath stun? It would, wouldn't it? Ritual Dagger increases
yeah.
Wrath stun. And he's also got the Purification. I would have liked to see maybe a Curse, but the Purification is good to get away from Trilogy, Casification, as well as Desecrator. But the Ritual Dagger on the stun is a good pickup.
Ritual Daggers, you know, it's one of those items that people saw in the patch notes and was like, this is crazy, this is OP, but we actually haven't seen too much in play. So I'm really, you know, happy that teams are starting to recognize that this item is very strong. It has got so many stats on it, and its passive is crazy.
It helps him in every way. It gives him the health, which he uses to sustain in fights. He also has the Void Shield, so he has extra health, extra protections with that Void Shield. He gets movement speed. He gets attack speed. He can stick to people so much better with that item. As well as that CDR to make sure his ult's on a shorter cooldown, as well as his extra abilities. It's a very, very strong pickup. Even better strong. Pandemonium take themselves, that's the second Gold Fury of the game?
Now they're looking for the tier 2 tower, which is worth as much as Gold Fury. Trilogy in there. Oh my goodness, he was 100-0 in about 1 second. Tier 2 tower in the mid lane, under 50% HP. Just Speedy very low, good enough for Casification, keeps him alive for now, but it's not going to be enough. Row very low, dashes back towards his teammates, trying to heal up a little bit here. Desecrator slowed, Unstable Vortex off the mark from Ochita. Subfloor backing away here, but Team Pandemonium get a couple of kills and they get the tier 2 tower.
Now Maxon and Subfloor are going to be invading that right-hand side. 15.5 minutes in. Another strong play. It has been a solid... Oh, actually, Desecrator in some trouble there. There's the stun. Going to find two people. Subfloor boxing it out there. Trying to find KO. Just at about half health. The cripple not going to be able to find it. But KO should be able to fall down. Maxon will be able to find one more hit. No, he actually gets away. Come on, Subfloor. Find it.
Maxon picks up the kill here under the tier 2 tower. Shield keeps him alive for now. Trilogy looking for the kill. He's hungry for it, but a good mez there from Erratic keeps Maxon alive for now. Just Speedy, great double bounce there onto Row, and Subfloor picks up one, looking for a second one, jumps in onto Row. Erratic, great ultimate there. Root coming down as well. Just Speedy though, Purification's away from the portal. Just Speedy very low now, still hunting for a kill. They're looking for Row, forces Row to stay here, but Just Speedy, you're too low, my friend. You're not going to be able to find a kill here. Casification jumping in as well. Where's the stun? He finds it. Erratic falls down. Just Speedy gets himself another kill.
I don't know if I could call that maybe a misplay for Pandemonium. If they had just backed away, they would have been fine. I don't know if it was a bit of a lazy back for...
Oh my goodness,
that threw
Cheetah nearly hit that snipe. He nearly hit that.
It would have killed him as well. He's just shy of 400 health. My God, my goodness. That was close.
If Just Speedy had backed up into the position where he's standing now to finish off the camp, he would have been dead. If he'd done that 1 second earlier, he would have been dead.
Right-hand side, Maxon's going to be warding around this Fire Giant area, around that mid-camps, needs that position. So, almost 17.5 minutes in, they have taken every single tower except for that right-hand side. Could they look to go for a Fire Giant, then the right side Phoenix, and then just look for an end?
I think they could do, given their lead at this point in the game. Corvidae just needs to play very safe. I don't really know what they can do when the lead is 18,000 experience, 12,000 gold, but their only hope is that they've got a late-game Chronos.
They won't even get to late game to make that Chronos come fully online. Casification only level 11, 7 levels behind Maxon, who's going to be throwing out those basic attacks. And the experience is just insane. 3 level difference from the supports. Fire Giant now being started up by Pandemonium. There isn't really anything that Trilogy can do here to defend it. The uppercut's going to be down, and Erratic's going to be finding him when he comes down.
Fire Giant here, 25% HP. Casification trying to look for the steal here, but doesn't get it. The Rat secured there from Max, and Casification jumping away here. The rest of Pandemonium is on the hunt, though. Trilogy in the backline looking at Subfloor and Ochita. Ochita picks up the kill there, and the rest of Pandemonium are cleaning up the shop. Casification falls down through space in time to get Ochita and Subfloor in quickly. Row gets a kill onto Just Speedy. Tier 2 tower is now feeling the full brunt of Pandemonium's force. Maxon diving under the Phoenix, looking for KO, cleans him up. Only Desecrator left alive here, and he's split pushing on the left-hand side. They pretty much conceded the game here. Desecrator just trying something, anything, but it's not going to be enough. Pandemonium looking for the Titan here, and they should find it. Now Desecrator trying to back here, but attracts the attention of a couple minions. Not going to get back in time. Game, set, match. Team Pandemonium.
29-4. Before 19 minutes, they ended out that game. They ended the game before 19